Hey guys, Diego here. Sorry I haven't made any videos lately. I've been kind of busy and some other stuff happened that I had to stop. Anyway, I went through my stuff and I was I found my old Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I remember back then Yu-Gi-Oh was pretty much popular, even for, believe it or not, even for college people. I remember those days when I used to sit down with friends in college after class or before class, and we would have a duel of Yu-Gi-Oh. Funny thing is, who would think even college students would play this game, considering that it's for little kids? Well, if you look at this, regardless of what they say about little kids, it combines both math and strategy. Those two, those two together will are really beneficial for the game. Why? Math, because your the whole point of the game is having your opponent reach zero and you'll win the game. However, there are cards that could boost up magic abilities or attack and power or life points. So tables could be turned in either side. Strategy, uh, because you have to think which card will be best used and what situation. Gee, I miss those. I really miss playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, my deck seems pretty much dusty. I mean, I got two decks, but I remember my first deck. I was so happy because my friend put it together and we had couple of battles and we've been upgrading my deck like crazy over the years. The problem is within the years there's more cards come and then new rules come out and the game has changed like, man. Anyway, um there was um also you could play Yugi online. At that time I was like, oh man, so you mean you could play with other people Yu-Gi-Oh on the internet? Yeah, there was a section called um, ba- uh, Battle Network or Tool Net. I forgot what it was. Basically, you'll have your computer. The computer would be your main mat, and then you had your cards. And the funny thing about it, it was a simulation. That was the first time it was a simulation which allows you to virtually get start a deck and then put it together and test it. That way you would know if your deck would be good or not. However, Battle Network, Tool Network, I forget the name, had also a disadvantage because you could easily cheat on a game. I had I had that situation where I was playing with somebody and he used a magician deck and I use my samurai deck, he decided to pull his dark magician and dark magician grow like just from the beginning. You cannot do that. So what I did, I just drew my highest card, which was the I believe it was the Shin. Oh god, I forget. I gotta check my samurai deck. Anyway, never heard of him. He just walked out of the duel. Why? Because he thought I was cheating. And to be honest with you, you could easily cheat on that. That's why I stopped going there. I don't know if my account's still there or not, but you could easily cheat on, and it's not fun when you do that. Then, as years passed by, I heard of Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. My friend told me about it, and I'm like, well, yeah, I was like doing network, except that now the rules were better. I mean, there was no way you could cheat. It was pretty much control. The problem with that was that for a period of time they had to shut it down because Konami, creator of most games, um, also uh, created the Yu-Gi-Oh cards along with Upper. Well, they were teaming up with Upper Deck, but there was kind of a disagreement. So the cards you the old cards, like for instance, if you wanna do a Pegasus deck or the Toon deck, you more than likely you won't find those cards anymore because most of them came from Upper Deck. Anyway, it was shut down because I believe it was run by another person, not an employee of Konami. But later on, they decide to run it back again because I guess Konami let this person handle it because it was into their best interest to have that site. That would be, to me, that would be a promotion for the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, believe it or not. Then I also realized there was Yu-Gi-Oh the anime. Um, I didn't quite get into Yu-Gi-Oh as much, the anime, because uh, I I just saw like I don't know how many seasons the first one had. That I saw it all the way till where Yugi beats Pegasus, and then I lost track of it. And at that time, they launched Yu-Gi-Oh the movie, um, called uh, oh, dang, I forgot it. It's oh yeah, Pyramid of Light. So as I can understand, that takes after the battle on Dul's Kingdom. That's when Pegasus lost to Yugi, and um, they have to face a guy named Anubis, and God, eh, eh, all I remember is that Kaiba um, got one of the forbidden cards, or there was a card. Oh yeah, he got a card he shouldn't have in the first place because Pegasus lost against him, and Kaiba knew that Pegasus somehow had the the card that could actually beat Yu-Gi-Oh, Yugi, but Pegasus wa- um, knew Kaiba didn't deserve it because he knew that Yugi. I'm gonna be blunt with you. Yugi trashed them, and because of that, Pegasus kind of got a bit sympathetic, and it tells Kaiba, "Well, you know what? Yugi just beat you once. Why should I give you this card?" So they Kaiba made a deal with him, and he agreed to give him the one card that could put fate on Yugi's deck, and somehow he found two cards. Pegasus was suspicious as to why there were two cards, not just one. He fully knew there was one, but he didn't have an idea of what happened, uh, how he managed to have two, or why did he have two in the first place. So it goes as this guy better do challenges Yugi. They do, and whole mess happens. Kaiba finally realizes that something was wrong because he was beating Yugi and he already had a strategy, but Anubis didn't go with it. So he found out that Anubis was using him all that time, uh, all that time, and he wanted to continue uh, or take revenge of 2 years, 2000. It was a 2000 year uh, thing that happened where he wanted revenge. So why not get a hold of Zero Kaiba, duel Yugi because he knew that Yugi was the pharaoh. So things get out of hand. And what's strange about the whole thing is it came to a point where the mess was so big that uh, the whole dueling arena that Kaiba uh, set up for duels was falling apart. And strangely enough, Pegasus helped Yugi's friends. It's kind of funny using Pegasus, a guy that pretty much, I don't know if he liked Yugi because of the fact that he was bitten by him, or but the funny part is that he used three of his stunts to help out, and sadly enough, the stunts fell defeated. But anyway, um, later on, there was the new series called Yugioh DX, I believe. GX, right? I like the first episode. I mean, I just see myself going to dueling school and have my deck ready, and suddenly I just, for some unknown reason, I stumble into Yugi. This was years after the events of the original series. Well, that's what happened to Jaden. He was late. He thought he wasn't going to make it for the entrance exams, and suddenly he, he bumps into Yugi. He starts picking up his cards. He goes like, "Hey, I know you," and Yugi gave him a special card. I'm not kidding you. This was kind of awkward. So Yugi gave him this card, and here's Jaden telling him, "Yeah, I'll make you proud." And you just see Yugi just walking away. So he goes for his test. His proctor's name is Doctor. Oh God, I forgot his name. He looked weird. He looked like a girl. I'm not kidding you. You couldn't make up this guy anyhow. But I forget his first name, but his last name was Crawler, if I remember correctly. So, Dr. Crawler was his proctor, and the thing is, he didn't like people to go into the academy. I guess he had uh, experiences that told him, nah, these guys don't deserve to be here. Or so Jaden took Dr. Crawler's test. They both do. However, he didn't use the Proctor's dueling deck. He used his own personal deck, which had a powerful monster that nobody has seen, and it was revealed. And folks, that was the ancient gear. Uh, I don't know if it was the ancient gear soldier or golem. That's when, pretty much when the whole they had the ancient gear deck out, but he had that. Jaden thought that it was going to be over because of one thing. So his last hope was Yugi's Karibo, the one that he received, managed to somehow get Dr. Crawler. He beats he beats Dr. Crawler and puts him on shame in front of everybody. And he was upset at that because he was embarrassed. It was funny because he made it into the Slifer team. See, by then they had different groups. They have the Obelisk Blue, they had the Slifer team. I forgot what the Jello team was. Um, uh, let's see, Red, Blue, and Jello. And I believe they had Gray. It's been a while since I watched this. Anyway, later on, there was Yugioh 5Ds. Didn't, I really didn't get into that one. I don't know why. The story is about Jusei, another guy. It's a different time. It's more far into the future from what I saw. And that dueling, I'm not kidding you. That dueling, I don't know how could you do while riding a motorcycle. I mean, believe it. I just didn't see it coming. And of course, there was a second movie called Yugioh Bonds Beyond Time or something like that. I think it's Bonds Beyond Time. Something like that. That was the second Yugioh movie. Um, However, there were also the games. And the games were, well, let's start with PlayStation. The first time I played, um, I heard of it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, and I bought it. I mean, it was a cool game. It it was the platform wasn't as good as the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, but I mean, it was decent. You had your side and your opponent's side, you use all sorts of cards. You earn. The story goes as the pharaoh lives because he was uh, threatened by some high-ranking magician. So it's kind of awkward when you see somebody that resembles Thea and Joey uh, back on Egypt and Seto Kaiba. It's kind of weird. I mean, they could have been their ancestors. I mean, if you think about it, Joey, Juno, what a coincidence. I forget what Thea's counterpart was. I was just remembering. And the cool part of it, not it didn't work with the newer Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but with the old ones. So, for instance, if for some reason, sorry, for some reason I wanted to unlock a card, let's say, oh, I want to unlock Dark Magician Girl. There's a number on the bottom, or is it? Yeah, there's like numbers on the very bottom. They're they're too little to see it, but if you enter those numbers, and I think where it says you can add new cards, you can unlock them. However, I think you need to buy them or get points in order to get them. That was a cool thing about Forbidden Memories. And there was Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monsters. That one was alright, but it wasn't a card game. It was more of a strategy. How can I say it? Uh, it's hard to explain. I haven't played that game in a long time because that game was for PlayStation 2, which I don't have anymore. Um, I have my old games, but that's about it. Then one that I regret losing with my PS was the PSP Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Dueling Academy. It was one of my favorite. I'm not kidding you. Well, you face different people of course, from the GX series like Shane, um, Jaden, Cyrus, those guys. Well, Cyrus, Jaden, they're on your team, but I mean the other guys. And sometimes you would fight, or if you were up to the challenge and battle one of the you could battle some professors, I think. You could also battle uh, I forget this teacher's name, her, but she had a cutie deck. I saw that how it was built. I always wanted to do that cutie deck, and I told my friend, I kind of feel like I want to do that cutie deck for some reason because I found it somewhat annoying, but it had potential. He's like, dude, seriously, you're gonna do a deck that it's not that great. So there goes another idea. So that's the Pegasus deck that I cannot do because of the disagreement between the separation of Upper Deck and Konami, and then the cutie deck looked like it had potential, but yeah, it had its. I actually beat that deck, to be honest. Um, but I admit it was a good. So that's on the Yugioh. I don't think um they went far as 5Ds because there were couple Yu-Gi-Oh games like DX, GX Tools Academy, GX Tools Academy 2, and I think last one was 5Ds. Now, a couple of years now had passed. I feel like playing Yu-Gi-Oh again. The thing is, it's been a while, and there's a lot of. It's not as uh, well. It's not like it used to. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say, Yu-Gi-Oh died. Unlike Magic the Gathering, people still play Magic the Gathering. Yu-Gi-Oh, I haven't seen people lately. And for a game that had, if you think about it, a game that started as a card game, had its own TV series, couple games. I mean, this game was well, was good at the time. They're trying to bring it back. I mean, it's it's still around, but nobody plays it. I mean, I heard from my friend that now there's more. They're making more cards, magicians. I don't know. Konami tends to put in throw out more additions to your decks. Um, and overly change the rules. I mean, the game's pretty good, but if you think about it, you would agree. I mean, most of you, I'm sure most of you played Yu-Gi-Oh or heard of Yu-Gi-Oh. The anime was great. I'm not kidding you. It was awesome. The two anime movies were great. I wasn't much into Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds because I was just uh, too complicated to follow, I guess. Um, but what I like about the second movie, and I'm not kidding you, is that you have Yugi, Jaden, and Yusei teaming up to save everybody from catastrophe. I mean, there's a part where a lot of people, um, I mean, it gets to the point where there's a big earthquake things fall apart. A lot of people dies, and Pegasus, I think he arrived at the scene. He also uh, got affected. I don't remember whether he died with some of the crowd or he just got hurt. But Yugi was separated from his grandpa, and then suddenly he's in another place along with Jade and Yusei. So I mean, what can I say? All I can say, folks, you can. I don't know. All I can say is Yu-Gi-Oh rules. I mean, regardless of what we're doing, I don't care if people says it's um, a kitty game as far as the card games goes. I don't care if they say it's a kitty cartoon. Come on. I mean, there's worse than Yu-Gi-Oh. I've seen plenty. I still think Yu-Gi-Oh is one of the best as far as card games, anime, and games. Uh, yeah, a lot of you might have your preferences. I mean, you don't have to take my word, but believe me, if you played, if you play the or you go online and play the Yu-Gi-Oh Pro, you'll know what it is. I mean, you'll see what it is. I'm sure a lot of you had. Same if you played that the PlayStation, you'll be familiar as soon as you put in forbidden memories. You'll you'll know what it's about. Um, you know, um, Jugo, man, one of the coolest things I ever got into. Anyway, if you like this video or any of my videos, you know what to do. And like I say, your feedback is very important to me because with your help and your suggestions, where there is, I don't know, talk about the movie, games, you know, um, I could decide what I what my next video is gonna be. So you guys know what to do. Comments, questions, concerns, drop those in as well. Like I always say, this is still a signing off. Take care and peace out.